But let's talk about challenges for other people. So when you think about
I think it's really hard just to, if you have a difficult relationship with your family, if your family has passed on, if you're living in a different state than your family, I think the holidays can be a really, really difficult time.
Yeah, I think they can be really hard mental health wise for a lot of people. Just maybe putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation or not even having a situation to go to.
Yeah.
Which is probably even more difficult.
And I would say on the second note, invite everybody to your Thanksgiving. Because
this is going to be after Thanksgiving.
Okay, but for
years.
Christmas too, and any holiday, because you don't know how that little invitation could A, change your relationship with that person, but B, change their world. Because so many people hold a lot of resentment and just pure sadness about the holidays.
Yeah, I think it can be a really, really tough time.
Welcome to Her Unshakeable Confidence with dynamic mother-daughter duo Simone and Olivia Knego, where they discuss the secrets of transformation and how to build bold confidence and unwavering resilience. From intimate conversations with inspiring guests to sharing their personal journeys of triumph and challenge, Simone and Olivia create a supportive space where every woman is encouraged to rise above her fears and love the woman in the mirror. Tune into Her Unshakeable Confidence and join this special journey of connection and growth. It's like catching up with old friends who inspire you to be bravely and uniquely you.
Welcome to this week's episode of Her Unshakeable Confidence. I'm Simone Knego.
And I'm Olivia Knego.
And as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that we have been reunited again. She's home for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
It's not like I'm home for fun. I'm home to study and then eat. It's better than being at my apartment and studying though.
Well, especially because you don't have to, marginally.
I'm kidding.
Oh my goodness.
She did my laundry today. It's much better than being at my apartment.
I was going to say, we're going to have real attitude today. So you don't have to cook very much. I mean, you're cooking some stuff.
But I'll hands-on for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I just haven't been cooking dinner.
Yeah, she has this thing called a school. I don't even know what to call it. I want to say job, but it's school, but it's like a job because it's so much work.
Professional school.
Oh, professional school. Oh, she's professional.
That's what the difference is between regular school and professional school, is that professional school is like your job.
How you doing at your job?
I don't know. Pretty good, I think. I was studying a lot.
Okay, good. So we thought we would talk about holidays since we are... Well, when this episode comes out, it will be just after Thanksgiving, but we thought we would really talk about all parts of the holidays, like the fun parts, the challenges.
I think it's kind of silly right off the bat that we have all of the major U.S. holidays, which is like Christmas and Thanksgiving when you think about it. They occur within a month of each other, or less than a month. Oh, this year it is within a month of each other. And it's kind of silly. You don't see your family the whole year, and then you see them twice at the end of the year.
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting thing.
I mean, we can't change that. I just think it's very interesting how that has evolved. That, when is the last time I've seen my siblings? Family vacation. Yeah. So it's been 6 months since I've seen everybody, right? And then coming home, I'm seeing them now, and then I'm going to see them in less than a month from now for the winter holidays.
Which is good and bad, right? Because it's good because everybody gets together, but it adds a lot of stress.
And it adds a lot of expenses.
Right.
And now as an adult, I do really understand. Granted, I'm still not a full adult. I'm not making money.
She's not actually paying for these expenses.
Yeah, but you do see it more, how expensive things get. And how many, it's the gift buying on top of, you have to book 2 flights at the most expensive time of year.
Yeah, it is. If you could go back in history, they should have changed
we should have really spaced them out a little bit. But
yeah, well, that's not reality. So anyways, we got to deal with it. So what do you think are the biggest challenges? Well, let's start with challenges first, and then let's go back to
positives.
Positives. Yeah.
Okay. I think the number one challenge, especially in our family, is putting everybody in the same room. It's not getting to the same room. It's putting and what I mean by that is that Simone Knego raised a family of personalities. Each and every one of us has a very distinct, and I would say very loud, not necessarily loud, but bold personality. Even my quietest of siblings, I would say Ari, has his little funk to his personality. And it's about the hardest thing is making sure everyone's goes together good.
Goes together good.
I know that wasn't a great word.
She's in professional school.
Yeah, okay, girl.
So, yeah, I think that I see that. I mean, obviously, when they were little, it wasn't such a big deal. But now that they're adulting or half adulting, they definitely come with bigger opinions.
And Millie and I literally at the dinner table last night, because Millie and I get into a tiff and then a debate every single night at dinner. And usually it's a good thing. Maybe it was last night or 2 nights ago. We were literally arguing the same point at each other. And we just do, Eve, I don't know.
Yeah. So it does make for interesting conversations. And then you add the alcohol piece in there too.
Yeah.
For some people, it makes it better. For others, it makes it worse.
Depends.
Yeah.
This is going to be maybe a little bit of an insult to both me and Jacob, but in a backhanded insult. I think it's really nice that both of our partners are coming to Thanksgiving this year because it adds a 2-person buffer between us.
That is true. Definitely. Both of them will not be as
mean. The word is mean. Mean and aggressive. And just we like to pick. Jacob and I are pickers. So, and I don't know if I do it as hurtful as he does. A lot of the times I'll start something as a joke and then you guys take it seriously. And then I feel like I have to take it seriously then. Instead of just being wait, I didn't mean that. And he does the same thing, honestly. The arguments that we've had over the years is really just him trying to stick to his guns, even though he knows he's wrong. But when you put us in a room together, we'll just go back and forth.
Yeah.
And with his fiance coming and my boyfriend coming, it'll be fine because we don't like to act that way around our partners.
Yeah, they wouldn't look better than they really are.
I would never, literally never do that around Jack.
It cracks me up. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I mean, makes it easier for me.
It does. I don't actually think it's a really big benefit.
Other challenges.
Oh my God. My number one, I actually talked to Jack about this on the phone yesterday. I get up on Thanksgiving morning, 7 a.m. I start working. I hate that the rest of my siblings don't come downstairs till 11 or 12. Last year, Jacob's fiance came down earlier than him.
Yeah, there is. So actually, Millie asked me the other day, do you think it's really important for me to learn how to cook? And I said,
yes.
Well, I said, at least you need to know some basics. And
to boil water? Does she know how to boil water?
Anything. No, she can boil water.
Can she make pasta? Pasta out of a jar, a sauce?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she could do that kind of stuff.
Well,
but
yeah, she needs to know how to cook.
She needs to know some basics. Anyway, so yeah, I think they think because they're not cooking, they don't have to come down early. But they are, the ones that don't cook are in charge of the decorating. And
decorating or setting things up. It's just more of Thanksgiving's a family holiday. So even if you're not participating in that part, why are you laying in your room? This, I think, is the biggest issue I have with my older sister. And she's not coming this year because she's doing her program in a different country. And, they don't get Thanksgiving off. But she will wait till the last minute to come downstairs every single time. And then we have to be like, Emma, why aren't you down here yet? And she's like, well, I was getting ready. It takes you 6 hours to get ready for Thanksgiving.
Well, it's a social anxiety piece, which is...
And it's a bit of laziness because the social anxiety I can understand in the afternoon when she goes and hides from people. But in the morning, it's just us. She just doesn't want to come down.
Yeah, I guess so.
And that, I would say, applies to all of my siblings. I think that's really frustrating.
Valid point.
Thank you.
Point noted.
Yes.
Point taken. Can't tell you I'm going to do anything different.
No, I mean, nothing is going to change. It's not worth the fight of having them come down early.
Yeah. Well, if I gave them very specific tasks, and maybe that's what I should do this year, say you're in charge of this specifically, you're in charge of that, not everybody together helping because, I mean, the way the competition works, when everybody was home during COVID, I literally had to make a chart that specified exactly what areas they were cleaning.
Yeah.
If I said the counters, I had to be very specific.
Which counters?
Yeah, all of the counters.
Because I even last night, if you just say, okay, all the kids have to clean up, we're all going to fight for the easiest jobs.
Yeah. I mean, it was no different when I was a kid. I always had to go to the bathroom. Did I really have to go to the bathroom? Maybe. I mean, I got all kinds of issues. So maybe I did. But I mean, I know.
Probably not every single time.
Right. I spent a lot of time in the bathroom when my sister was cleaning up the table. So But then it became like one has to set and clean off the table and one had to wash dishes, so that they got smarter about it because they figured out my trip to the bathroom.
Your bathroom trips were pretty extreme.
Yeah, it was just to escape. But let's talk a little bit about.
You didn't ask me though. That's on the topic of dishes. That's, I think, the worst part about Thanksgiving.
Oh, you're right. It is. It is.
And I'm gonna say it. Actually, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say that. But if you are going to someone's house for Thanksgiving, make sure you offer to clean up. I think it's really important.
Yeah, offer to help. And let me also tell you, do not throw away the leftovers.
Why would you do that? It has happened to us before.
Someone was cleaning up. They offered to clean up. And we were like, oh, amazing. Someone's helping clean up. Threw everything away. There was no turkey. There was no stuffing. We weren't like, no cranberry sauce, everything. And
I don't
that's
know.
Like the best part.
Yeah,
for
right?
me is the
Like
next day.
everybody saves Thanksgiving leftovers. I don't think it's some weird thing of our family. I mean, like, hello, there's a whole sandwich from Friends that's about Thanksgiving leftovers.
I mean, I know they say things are out for longer than 2 hours. You should
blah, blah, blah.
But,
I'm not a food scientist.
I'm taking
Don't
my
listen to
chances
my
on
advice
that
for
one.
food science. Listen to my advice for happiness. And happiness is saving the Thanksgiving
Happiness
leftovers.
is having leftovers the next day from Thanksgiving.
I agree.
That's pretty funny.
What's your favorite dish of Thanksgiving?
I really like stuffing.
I was going to say the same thing. And I think it's because it's the one thing you can't really eat other times a year.
Yeah.
Which, on that note, is back to the Thanksgiving and Christmas being the same. We don't do like a traditional Christmas dinner, but they're pretty much like the same thing. Like, you're eating the same foods.
Yeah, it's interesting. My cousins, my aunt, she always used to cook goose on Christmas. Her husband's family did that. They're German and they cook goose. And I was like, okay, that's kind of funky to me. But I didn't even know you eat geese.
I think you eat everything.
Do you eat swans?
Oh.
Okay, this is so random.
Yeah.
Let's come back. So, yeah, definitely my favorite is stuffing. Someone did a poll the other day asking our favorite, and I responded with wine, but that's always my favorite. So, but for Thanksgiving specifically, it would be stuffing.
It's just so good. And I get why we don't eat it throughout the year because it would be horrible for us. Imagine instead of like bread, we would just eat like just stuffing.
Yeah.
Like that would not be good.
I think you would get sick of it too.
I think that's the appeal of Thanksgiving foods though, is that you only get them one time of year. So it's like, ooh, and I'm not a big turkey person, but like, you eat it the one time of year and that's enough fill till next year.
What about, so we have like some funky
Traditions.
So we do oysters every year.
Mm-hmm.
This year we're just doing grilled oysters. I don't know.
The last couple of years we've been doing just grilled. And honestly, it's a food, as much as we literally just said, don't listen to us about food safety. But I think doing them at home right now, there's just like, she's freaked out because there's been like a couple incidents of people getting really sick from raw oysters.
Yeah. And
it's also way easier to do them grilled.
Yeah. So anyways, we do that. And that's actually one of my favorite things that we do.
I don't know how long we've been doing that for.
It's such a cool recipe, like with chipotle.
And
that's really good. And then this year, we're doing something different. We were at this restaurant in Nashville called Locust. It was fantastic. If you haven't been and you live in Nashville,
quite literally is my favorite restaurant.
Check it out.
And I'm picky. Well, I'm not picky food wise. I'm picky about what I like. I'm bougie. That's the right word. I'm bougie.
So anyways, they had this horseradish vodka and we asked for the recipe. It's not hard to make. You take fresh horseradish, you put it in to a Japanese vodka.
Could be any vodka, really.
Yeah, but that's what they use. So that's what we did. And you let it soak in there for a few days. And we literally just sampled it.
Yeah.
And it was delicious.
It's really crazy good.
And so we're going to use that probably for Bloody Marys in the morning when we're cooking away. Yeah, so that's something new that we did this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is actually the smallest Thanksgiving we've had in a long time, which we've had upwards of 40 people before.
Yeah.
We always like to invite anybody that doesn't have a place to go.
Yeah.
And this year, it seems like everyone has a place to go. So,
16 people this year.
Yeah.
It's really small. And it's really small considering 9 of those are us. Or 10, including grandma.
10 of those.
Yeah, 10 of us.
So, yeah, it's just 2 families this year, which is great. I mean, I think it'll be a lot more intimate and you can actually have conversations instead of a lot of times with Thanksgiving, I feel like I'm just serving the entire time and just making sure everything is
Yeah,
taken care of.
I agree.
Instead of really
Yeah.
getting to sit down and have conversations.
And I guess it's kind of nicer this year because we don't have to like cater to individual needs. And my prime example there is that we don't do sweet potatoes. We are not a sweet potato family. We do not do sweet potatoes on Thanksgiving unless you're making your weird sweet potato salad that I actually like, but you haven't made in a while.
Hello.
It's weird.
I'm not making that.
No, exactly. So like some years we'll have to do like the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on top, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I know some people like that. I don't really understand it, but
I think if it was like told, like it was like, this is the dessert part of the meal. Like if you made a sweet potato pie with marshmallows on top and like we're like, this is dessert. I think I would enjoy that, but it's just the idea of it.
Yeah. It's kind of
I
fun.
don't know. It's not my thing.
But again,
to each their own.
Yeah, a lot of people
but
like it.
It's nice not having to make that this year.
I'm trying to think of anything else unusual we're doing.
We do every single year, and it's only because my older brother likes it. There's this specific Croatian dish. How do you even say it?
We need to make that
I
today.
need to do that today.
Good thing you reminded us.
Which is like...
It's like a kind of noodle.
It's a noodle, but it's not really what you think of as a noodle. But like, yeah, I think a noodle, and you toss it in gravy. And no one eats it, I think, except Jacob. I made it last year, and I didn't even eat it.
I think we'll do like half the recipe this year.
It's just one of those things that he needs to have at his Thanksgiving. Yeah. But if he wasn't here, that would be something we could scrap.
For sure. But
we do it.
So, we try to make everybody happy.
Yeah. And that's...
and we're trying a different stuffing recipe this year with chorizo and
Calabrian chilies.
Okay, I didn't know how to say that word, but yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
So that a lot of times we'll make oyster stuffing, and you can't even taste that there's oysters in there.
No, I don't really.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
But it's like a cornbread stuffing. So this is different. This is so...
Oh, I'm positive of this year of Thanksgiving. We don't have to cook gluten-free.
Sorry, Emma.
Yeah.
Emma's gluten-free, so we usually make multiple dishes that are gluten-free, but don't have to this year.
Sorry, Emma.
I know, sorry, Emma.
But
now, let's go back to like some of the... We were talking challenges, but let's talk about challenges for other people. So when you think about...
I think it's really hard just to, if you have a difficult relationship with your family, if your family has passed on, if you're living in a different state than your family, I think the holidays can be a really, really difficult time.
Yeah. I think they can be really hard mental health wise for a lot of people. Just maybe putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation or not even having a situation to go to.
Yeah.
Which is probably even more difficult.
And I would say on the second note, invite everybody to your Thanksgiving. Because
this is going to be after Thanksgiving.
Okay, but for Christmas too, and any holiday, because you don't know how that little invitation could A, change your relationship with that person, but B, change their world. Because so many people hold a lot of resentment and just pure sadness about the holidays.
Yeah, I think it can be a really, really tough time.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always lucky because we have so much family that
there's so much, so many kids.
So many kids that will always have a selection, even if it can't be everybody. We'll always have somebody.
I think that it can be really difficult. I think that it can be difficult in that aspect. I also think expense-wise, it can be a really challenging time of year. Because not only do you have, Christmas presents to think about and, all the end of the year bills, you also have to prepare these massive meals for people. And on that note, I would say I saw multiple posts about this person today. There's an individual on social media that does Dollar Tree meals, and that's her username. And she will show you how to make a Thanksgiving meal for under $20.
Wow.
From the Dollar Tree. And I obviously, some people are never going to do that. They would never stoop that low. I guess they would think about it. They would think about it like that. But it's such a great thing that this woman is using her platform to show people that you can have a great meal on Thanksgiving, a holiday that's really about, food and connecting with individuals without having to break the bank.
I saw something the other day that it was like okay, yes, I'm scrolling. I'm a screenager scrolling on Instagram.
I think everyone's a screenager now.
Even your dad's a screenager.
Oh my God, yeah, we DM.
Yeah.
So
I'm calling him out. Anyway, so there was a video of basically come play this game. And then if, you pick something, you win this money. And so this one guy won, and it was like $500, and he started crying, and they said, what are you going to do with the money? He's like, I can buy a plane ticket now to go visit my kids.
Oh,
And,
I love that.
Right? I mean, that's such a huge thing. And obviously we take a lot of things for granted, but I think that has to be a really hard part of the holidays if you don't have the funds to be able to go visit your family.
Yeah,
if you don't have the funds to. So, I mean, I love the Dollar Tree thing because you can still make
a delicious meal.
Right? You don't have to.
It might not be this traditional aspect, but will be food on the dinner table for you and your children.
And it's really about the people. It's
Absolutely.
really about bringing the people together.
Absolutely.
And that's why I always say to the kids, it's my favorite holiday because we do come together. And
I mean, we spend the whole day together on Thanksgiving. It is one of my favorite holidays as well, if not the favorite of my holidays. I think, though, it's really inspiring this time of year to see how much we help out. I think, like community aspect wise, how much people give back. I mean, I think this is not only the busiest time of year for food banks, but I think it's the time of year where they receive the most volunteers as well and the most donations.
It's true. And looking at, so something I hadn't really thought about was, so we just had 3 storms come through our area, right? 3 hurricanes. And what I didn't realize that, and maybe FEMA helps with this, I'm not sure, but I just learned from my own process that if you lose the contents of your refrigerator or freezer during a storm, insurance will not cover it. It's only covered if like you randomly lost power and everything died.
Yeah.
But if there's a big storm, so all of these people we're included in it, but for a lot of people that lost everything in their fridge and freezer, it costs thousands of dollars to replace that.
Yeah.
And so I think the food banks are they're always so important, but especially right now, because if you can't afford to refill what was in your fridge and freezer and you really want to have your family for Thanksgiving, but you can't afford to do it, I can't imagine that there's a worse feeling, right?
Absolutely. And
not being able to take care of your family has to be one of the most difficult things.
Which is why this time of year we should give back more.
Yeah.
Because I mean it's just the right thing to do.
I love so at the younger kids, their school, they do every year, every year since we've been there.
Yeah.
They partner with
they call it title. I don't know what, but it's like the third Title III, maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. I'm thinking Title IX, but that's not the right thing. So schools that serve
lower income individuals,
right? And so majority of the kids there are on free and reduced lunch, and so they provide our school. Each class takes on a
Thanksgiving
family
basket,
and they create a Thanksgiving basket with
turkey included.
Yep. I mean, they actually give gift cards for them to go pick up the turkey, plates, cups, everything, juice, dessert, everything you can think of to create a Thanksgiving meal.
And when I was a kid, not that I was annoyed by this thing, but it was more of just like one more reminder to add to my list of I have to get this, and I didn't see how that me bringing in like a couple cans of something could really impact someone's life. But it really does. It truly does.
Yeah. I think we take those little things for granted, and what a difference we can make in the world by doing something even really small.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a really good reminder around the holidays how important it is for us to really participate as much as we can.
And how our little actions can cause such a big impact.
It's the ripple effect. I worked at a food line right after the storm, and the people were so thankful, and the food bank was so generous. The amount of food that was given out literally would restock their refrigerator and freezer. And it wasn't just canned goods. It was fresh. It was fresh vegetables, meats. Yeah. There was chicken, there was beef, there was everything to really help them kind of build up again. And I was so impressed by it. So definitely something
I
you
do
need to
think
think
that's
about.
really the magic of the holidays, though, is that people can come together above all else and provide for other people. I love all of the charities that happen during the holidays. Specifically, I love that you can like adopt a kid to buy Christmas presents for.
Mhm.
I think that's an awesome initiative because who doesn't want their kids to have Christmas? And so many people can't afford to give their kid the Christmas that they dreamed they could.
And what I love about that is that, so if we're adopting a family, we are giving the gifts, but they're not from us.
No, they're from Santa.
Yeah. So the family, the kid doesn't know that they're not coming
Mm-hmm.
from their family and Santa. They think that that's exactly what's happening. And I feel like that is such a special thing.
Yeah, you keep the holiday magic going through it.
Yeah.
And everyone deserves to have the holiday magic, whatever income level you're in.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the, like, if we move from challenges to the sparks of the holidays, because, and there's something really special, like moving from Thanksgiving into Christmas and the holiday lights and the smells, like, and again, I think everything starts too early these days. Like, how long has been at Starbucks? How long have they
Actually, not as long as you would
really?
think. Dunkin' released really early this year. Dunkin' released the day after Halloween. I think Starbucks was mid-November. Still too early.
I thought it was
maybe
October.
A week into November. No, they were post because they had to wait for Halloween to be done.
Yeah, but everything about it, like the idea of a peppermint latte and...
Yeah, and you know what? I'm kind of glad. Is going back to like that it only happens one time a year. It wouldn't feel as great if it happened all the time.
I think they tried to leave the drinks around for longer, and I don't think they were successful with it because I do think people find something special about having the
you only can get
the
it
holiday
this time of
related.
year. Yeah.
Definitely more of a push to buy it if that's the case. I was trying to think of how early stores put out their Christmas stuff. I honestly have been in such a zone with this storm stuff that I haven't paid so much attention.
I would say they started probably putting stuff out like small displays mid-October, but then all the big displays changed the day after Halloween.
Okay. Yeah, so there just is something magical about this time of year. Nothing to do with religion, but to do with the smells, the sights, the sounds,
the way we celebrate it,
and
the way we do the holidays. It's awesome.
And I think this year, more than any year, it really should be about coming together. There's been a lot of challenges. There's been a lot of stress over the election, and I think that stress about moving forward after the election, right? But I think it's so important that we use this as a time to come together and to help other people and to really make it special and enjoy the people that you're with. Trust me, there's times where you get in a situation and give the other person grace, right?
Do you think that people should have to spend the holidays with their family?
You shouldn't have to do anything. You should want to.
But what if you don't want to? What would you tell somebody? But if for like a legitimate, not like I'm mad at you right now, more of like I don't get a lot, like I don't feel respected in my family. What would you tell someone to do for the holidays?
Well, have they had that open conversation with their family to tell them that?
Well, yes. We're saying that like there's already a gift. Yes.
Then no. I mean, I would say that you got to find something that makes you comfortable. Maybe it's someone else's family that makes you feel comfortable. I hope that never happens with our family because that is like I said, it's my favorite thing to have. I can't say everybody this year because Emma won't be here, but to have majority of the family home because it really is a special time of coming together. And I think it has to be really hard. But again, as a person, you know your boundaries, right? Yeah. If you know you're setting yourself up for failure, you don't do it.
Don't do it. I think that's the really important part, not fart.
Yeah, we're not farting.
But to get over the obligation that you have to do this for the holidays. I think that we want to spend the holidays together, and that's why it's about family for us.
Yeah.
But we're not saying that you have to want that as well. And if it's something that you don't want, you shouldn't do that. You should know your boundaries.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of pressure over the holidays to let down your boundaries, to try to mend bridges. And if they can be mended, then I think it's really important. But if you've tried and you know you're putting yourself in a
And
situation.
it's not going to serve you at all.
Yeah.
Don't do it. You don't feel the pressure from, social media or friends in your life that don't completely understand the situation. Like, you the best.
And I can tell you that there are plenty of families that would love for you to join their Thanksgiving. Like I said, that was one of my favorite parts about Thanksgiving was when people didn't have a place to go, they would come to our house. And so that's why sometimes we had 40 something people.
Yeah.
And it was always really special because people that you wouldn't even see probably normally for another year, 2 years. And, they're at your Thanksgiving dinner table. So
I think holidays are about the people that you choose to be your family.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you see a lot of families get together and you see them go and they're like, this is going to be awful. This is going to be miserable. And I know there is that sense of obligation. So, but I think you also have to do what works for you. Simple as that. I think that's
in this day and
the
age,
most important advice about the holidays is do what works for you. Don't put so much pressure on yourself that you're making yourself miserable, that your anxiety is through the roof, that you can't sleep at night. Figure out what's going to work for you. And there's always someone that will welcome you through their door to their table.
Yeah.
So, do you have a calendar today? Or did you forget?
I did.
Okay,
I didn't bring it with me to Florida just in case anyone's
She's slacking a little
bit. Or
bit.
are you on your phone?
Yeah.
Jackson says to me, oh my gosh. Your actions are the only thing separating you from where you are and where you want to be.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even read it beforehand.
Yeah. So, again, you decide what actions you take. Figure out where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who do you want to be with?
And that answer doesn't have to be your parents if you don't get along with them, to be quite honest. But
luckily you get along with me.
I do. Very well most days.
Yeah. She was mad at me yesterday, but
I can't even remember. Oh, yeah. But I was just mad.
She was just mad. I was like, I can tell you're mad at me. And she's like,
I don't even know why
I don't know why. I just want to be mad at you. Okay, fine. Be mad at me. At least you expressed it.
Yeah. I say my feelings.
Well, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, wherever you might be. Obviously, this is coming out after Thanksgiving, but all of this applies to Christmas, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, think about, or Hanukkah.
Or Kwanzaa. I don't know what other celebrated are in December, but I know the Chinese New Year is in January, so it applies to that as well.
Yeah. But again, life is short. You should be happy. You should prioritize yourself in a lot of the situations and set your boundaries. So, and think about that with everything you do, with all parts of your lives. You have to set your boundaries. Otherwise, you get stumped on, and you need to be happy.
Yeah, especially during the holidays.
Yeah.
There's so much joy around.
There's so much joy. Thank you for joining us on this holiday episode of Her Unshakable Confidence. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to Her Unshakable Confidence with Simone and Olivia Knego. We hope this episode has made your day just a little bit brighter and given you the inspiration you need to confidently go about your week. Always remember to be authentically you. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And feel free to connect with them on Instagram at Simone Knego and at Olivia Knego. Till next time.